I want to tell you about John Sebastian, one of those people who you can't help but love, who just always found himself in the right place at the right time to become a bona fide representative of his generation. This is the story of John Sebastian. John Sebastian Pugliese was born in the spring of 1944 in New York City. He was raised in Greenwich Village, surrounded by beatniks and artists. His father was a classical harmonica player. John was so New York. His neighbor growing up was Eleanor Roosevelt. When the folk scene broke in the early 60s in his neighborhood, he joined right in, playing guitar, blues harmonica, sometimes even auto harp. His first band was called the Even Dozen Jug Band, after which he joined the Mugwumps, where he, along with Zal Yanowski, Denny Doherty, and Cass Elliot, made up the lineup. That group, of course, would eventually split into two, Denny and Cass joining John and Michelle Phillips and the Mamas and the Papas, and John and Zal went off to form the Lovin' Spoonful with Steve Boone and Joe Butler. Their name was inspired by a lyric from the song Coffee Blues by Mississippi John Hurt, and their early sound combined their folk rock, jug band influences, and the blues. In 1965, they released 2 albums in 6 months, including the breakout single Do You Believe in Magic. They followed it up with You Didn't Have to Be So Nice, and later Daydream, which peaked at number 2, and inspired Paul McCartney to write Good Day Sunshine. In 1966, they had 2 more major hits, with Did You Ever Have to Make Up Your Mind, and finally the band's biggest hit, Summer in the City. Kind of a gritty, urban song, with a sort of bossa nova-inspired backbone, which was quite a departure from the band's usual happy hippie vibe, as a result of his developing ambitions as a songwriter. Combined with internal conflicts in the band, John departed in 1968, looking to pursue a solo career. It was around this time that he made his way out to California, where he joined the vibrant music scene there. In 1969, he went to Woodstock, only as an audience member, not having been invited to play officially. But when the festival was experiencing severe delays with the arrival of musicians, they asked him to do a set, which would end up being one of the sweetest moments in the documentary, which was released a few months later. In the early 70s, he released a couple of solo albums, but it was 1976's Welcome Back, which would become the theme song for the show Welcome Back, Kotter, that would bring John back to the mainstream spotlight. In the 80s, he continued releasing music, but he started to become more interested in music history. He hosted a show in 1991 called The Golden Age of Rock and Roll, and sort of became known as the guy who talked about old records for a while in the 90s. In the year 2000, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the Lovin' Spoonful, and John continues to be a respected voice in the history of music.